Okay, let's be real for a second. The IELTS listening test? It can feel like you're trying to juggle on a unicycle while reciting the alphabet backward. It's a lot. But what if I told you there's a clear strategy, a whole toolkit of skills that can take you from just surviving it to actually mastering it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. Let's build your personal roadmap to hitting that Band 7 score and even pushing beyond it.
First things first, the single most important rule of this whole game. You get to listen to the audio exactly one time. That's it, just once. There's no replay button, no can you say that again, no second chances. And look, that's not just a rule. It's the core reason the test feels so high pressure. Everything, and I mean everything we're about to cover, is designed to help you conquer this one single fact.
And this is exactly why it's such a challenge. Your brain is being pulled in 3 different directions at once. You have to listen closely to what's being said, you have to read the questions at the same time so you know what you're even listening for, and then you have to somehow write down the answer without missing the very next thing the speaker says. This is the spot where most people trip up, but trust me, it's a skill you can absolutely train.
So, here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to really dig into the challenge itself. Then, we'll build out your personal toolkit with some essential listening skills. After that, we'll walk through a powerful 3-phase strategy that covers every single stage of the test. And finally, we'll bring it all home and see how this all connects to getting you that score you're aiming for.
All right, part 1, understanding the terrain. See, this test isn't just about having good hearing, it's about having a solid system. Once you master the system, you'll feel that test anxiety just melt away and turn into confidence.
Now let's get you armed with the tools you're going to need. And these aren't just tips and tricks. These are the fundamental skills that top scorers use, a lot of the time without even realizing it. Getting these down is what's going to take you to that Band 7+ level.
First up in the toolkit is prediction. Now, this isn't about fortune-telling or anything like that. It's pure strategy. Before the audio even begins, you're looking at the questions and getting your brain ready. You're asking yourself, okay, am I listening for a person's name, a phone number, a date, a place? Just doing that focuses your attention like a laser.
Next, note-taking. And I'm not talking about writing beautiful, perfect sentences. This is all about speed and efficiency. You need to develop your own personal shorthand. Sure, W for with is a great start, but what about an arrow pointing up for increase or an @ symbol for at? You're not trying to write a transcript. You're just grabbing little anchor points that will jog your memory later.
Oh, this one is an absolute game changer. It's called recognizing signpost language. Just think of these words as the speaker handing you a roadmap for their talk. They're these little verbal clues that tell you exactly where the conversation is, and more importantly, where it's about to go. And this right here breaks that roadmap down. You need to train your ears to perk up when you hear these. The second you hear, however, boom, you know a contrasting idea is coming. You hear, for instance, get ready for a key example. And when you hear, to sum up, you know the main point is right around the corner. Learning these is like having a GPS for the audio. You'll never feel lost.
Okay, so you've got your toolkit. Now let's put it to work with our core strategy. We're starting with phase 1, before the audio. You know that silence you get before each section? That is not downtime. That's prep time. It's golden, and it's where you set the stage for your own success. And here it is, the whole framework in one place. It's a simple, repeatable process that turns 30 minutes of potential chaos into a totally controlled performance. It's just prepare, execute, and verify. Simple as that. Now, let's break down each step.
Let's make this super practical. So you see this question in your prep time. Name of a hotel, blank. Instantly, that prediction skill we talked about should kick in. You know you're not listening for a number or a time. You're hunting for a proper noun, a name. And you're also thinking, names can have tricky spellings, so your brain is already primed and ready to catch it.
And now it's time for the main event, phase 2, during the audio. This is where the pressure's on. Your only job right now is to stay completely locked in, listen actively, and stick to the plan you just made in phase 1.
This slide gets at something really important, the difference between just hearing and actively listening. Anybody can hear sounds, right? But a Band 7+ candidate is listening for the specific piece of information they predicted they would need. You're shifting from being a passive passenger to being a detective on the hunt for clues.
All right, you need to watch out for this next one. It's the most common trap on the entire test, the distractor. Test makers love to have speakers correct themselves. You'll hear something like, so the meeting is at 3 p.m., and then a pause. Oh, actually, wait, let me check. No, it's been moved to 4:30. That first answer, 3 p.m.,
That's the trap. The golden rule here is to always wait for the final, confirmed piece of information. Never, ever just write down the first thing you hear.
Okay, you did it. You survived the audio. Now we enter phase 3, the final check. You've got 10 whole minutes to transfer your answers. This is not a race to the finish line. This is your chance to do some quality control and lock in every single point you possibly can.
So, for these 10 minutes, you're putting on your proofreader hat. First, double and triple check your spelling. One wrong letter and you get 0 points. Second, check the word count instructions. If it says no more than 2 words and you write 3, it's wrong, period. And finally, check those plurals. Is the answer supposed to be cat or cats? These tiny details are the difference between a good score and a great score.
I want you to burn this into your brain. Precision beats speed. It is so much better to transfer 38 answers perfectly than it is to rush and transfer 40 with a bunch of careless mistakes. This final phase is all about being meticulous.
So, let's tie all of this back to what really matters, your score. Having a great strategy is one thing, but building the habits that actually get you to that band 7 or higher, that's the real goal. This is how you make all of these skills feel like second nature.
Now, this slide is like getting a peek behind the curtain. The test isn't just a random collection of questions. Each question type is specifically designed to test one of your subskills. When you see a form completion question, you know right away they're testing your ability to catch specific details and ignore those distractors. See a summary completion? They're checking if you can draw a conclusion. Knowing this means you can pick the perfect tool from your toolkit for every single question.
So there you have it. This is your path forward. Practice a little bit every single day. Work on these subskills until they're totally automatic. Use that 3-phase strategy every single time you practice. When you get something wrong, don't just move on. Figure out why you got it wrong. And this last one is huge. Start trying to think in English. Don't translate in your head. It's just too slow for this test.
At the end of the day, the strategies are here. The skills are clear. Getting that band 7 isn't about luck. It's about smart, focused, and deliberate training. So the only real question left is, are you ready to start?